Hello, it's Justin Woodall, your trusted Athens real estate advisor. Today I want to talk about the topic of whether it's a good time to buy or whether it's a good time to sell. You know, you probably hear agents say, hey, it's a great time to buy. You hear agents say it's a great time to sell. So which is it really? Because how can it be both? Is it really, if it's good for sellers, how can it also be good for buyers? And you know, it seems to be that one would be opposed to the other. So is it really a good time to buy and a good time to sell? So I want to give you some numbers and tell you why it truly is, if you're thinking about moving, it truly is a good time to sell, but it's also a good time to buy. And I'm going to explain why in this video. So just to kind of tell you why it's a good time to sell, prices are higher than they've been in a long, long time. And to give you some numbers, to give you an example, in Athens, Clark County, and I'm just using this as an isolated number, but Athens, Clark County, this year so far the average sales price has been $263,000. And I'm rounding here, but $263,000. Last year, 2019, the average sales price was $248,000. So prices on average have gone up $15,000 from 2019 to 2020. Now, if you go all the way back to 2014, just for kicks to kind of see what it looked like then, the average sales price in 2014, just 6 years ago in Athens, was $173,000. So we're up $90,000 from 6 years ago on average, and we're up $15,000 just from last year. So prices are high. And so you see that, and as a buyer, you say, okay, well, it's a good time to sell because prices are high, but I'm a buyer. I don't want to buy when prices are high. So let me kind of illustrate why it's a good time to buy, and that simply comes down to interest rates. And housing is more affordable this year than it was last year, even at higher prices, because the interest rate is so low, which translates into the payment being lower. And so let me kind of illustrate this for you in a couple of different ways. One way is just to say, just say you were going to do a mortgage for $300,000. So we used average before, I'm going to go a little higher this time. Just say you're going to do a mortgage for $300,000. And at 4%, which is kind of where the rates were last year, your payment of principal and interest, now your true payment is going to have taxes and insurance as well, but I'm only figuring principal and interest. Your payment at 4% interest rate over a 30-year mortgage would be $1,432 per month. Now, rates have dropped to closer to 3%. I'm seeing some under 3%, but let's say you get a mortgage for $300,000 at 3%. What's that payment? It's $1,264. So that's quite a bit of difference between $1,432 and $1,264. So that's a monthly savings. Now, to put it a different way, to show how you can actually pay more for a house and have a less of a house payment, let's just say you could afford $1,500 per month. Just an even round figure, $1,500 per month in principal and interest. And again, taxes and insurance is different, but say your principal and interest payment, you can afford $1,500 per month. At 4% interest rate, which would translate to last year, you could buy a house or you could get a mortgage up to $314,000 and have a $1,500 per month payment. At 3%, you could go all the way up to $355,000 and still have a $1,500 payment. So you can see you have basically a little over $40,000 more purchasing power now just because the interest rates have dropped 1%. So now you can see why it really is a good time to buy, because interest rates are so low, but it's also a great time to sell because prices are high. So when you sell your house, you get the difference between your price, your mortgage, what your mortgage payoff is, minus your expenses. That's yours to keep. Then you go buy something and you're able to afford more house now than you have been able to in the past. So it truly is a unique time, I believe, in that we're in a market now that is friendly for both buyers and sellers. So if you're thinking about making a move, it's a great time to think about it. And if we can help you walk through this to see whether or not it's right for you, reach out to us. Hope you make it a great day.